You're listening to the Walt's World Podcast. Join your hosts, John and Kaylee, as they banter about all things Disney, including Disney parks, resorts, dining, fashion, and movies. They'll keep you up to date with the latest Disney news and rumors, and they'll share their best tips and insight to make sure you have the best Disney vacation possible. So to all who tune into this happy place, welcome. It's the Walt's World Podcast.
Hey friends, it's September the 18th, 2018. This is episode number 21 of the Walt's World Podcast. I'm your host, John, and with me, as always, is my awesome friend, Kaylee.
Hi, everyone. With you, as always, because I'm the co-host with the mostest.
The hostess with the mostest. Yes, that's true. My favorite co-host in the world. I don't think I could ever find a new co-host if you ever left me. I would just be co-hostless.
If I ever left, would you shun me out of your life forever?
No, I would probably just burn this podcast to the ground and just be done. I don't think I could do this without you. So this is part 2 of our character dining discussion that we started last week when we focused on the Magic Kingdom and Epcot. This week, we are going to look at Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. Which is really cool because Kaylee has tried the character dining at Hollywood Studios. I haven't because I don't want to eat crappy things. And I and her both have done Tusker House. And so I think this is going to be a good episode to kind of get a feel for 2 very, very popular character dining restaurants. So let's start at Hollywood Studios, Kaylee. Hollywood Studios, we have Hollywood and Vine, which is located in the Echo Lake area, right beside 50s Prime Time.
Yeah.
And it is breakfast, lunch, dinner. You have characters. What characters?
You have characters. So the breakfast, and this is why I think that this is a really cool character meet and greet, is because the breakfast is Disney Junior characters. So I think that really appeals to the, parents with younger kids. And I know you can still do the Disney Junior meet and greet right across the way in the little area that they have. But to have everybody there while you're eating breakfast, I think is just really cool. So I love that. And then for lunch and dinner, it's Mickey, Daisy, Pluto, Donald, just kind of a mixture of the Fab Five, which is really fun. I did the one that they do during Halloween. It's Minnie's, what is it? Minnie's.
It's like a mini scary diner or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, they do that. They'll have a Christmas one and a Halloween one where they're dressed up in in costumes or
and it was really cute. I think the restaurant itself is a little small.
It reminds me of a hospital cafeteria.
And that's literally what I mean. That's kind of the perfect way to describe it. I had a party of 5, and it was they gave us a table that fit 4 and put a chair at the end. So it wasn't really comfortable. Meeting the characters was a little awkward because there was not a lot of room in the walkway. So the characters were the best part of this whole entire experience. Basically, and they were all in Halloween costumes, which was really cute. The food was subpar. It's your usual carving station. They had some shrimp thing. Some elements are good, and I think that's kind of the thing with all of the character dining is there's going to be something that is good, and then probably a good majority of it isn't going to be that good, if I'm being honest. But yeah, so it was just fun because of it being the Halloween time. Other than that, the food was a little subpar. But I do still consider this a really good character dining just because of the breakfast. I think the breakfast is really awesome. And honestly, for the Halloween and the special ones that they do throughout the year, they hike up the price so much that I don't know. I think it's worth it for breakfast for sure, because I think being able to meet all the Disney Junior characters is just a really unique experience that you don't get anywhere else at any of the other parks. So I would definitely just suggest doing that. And breakfast is always the cheaper of the meals offered at character dining. But I mean, as an adult, to pay $50 for a regular dinner character dining and then to pay $65 for the Halloween one, and for it to not even be like really even appetizing or that great of a meal, you're basically just going to see the characters in costumes. I don't think I really recommend doing that. But the breakfast Disney Junior, I would recommend. But you can find another character dining that involves the Fab Five that is way better.
Yeah, it's the Fab Five minus Pluto. You get Daisy instead, which I love Daisy. So the food you get is breakfast is the same old. Eggs, bacon, Mickey waffles, etc. Lunch, dinner, you get pastas, seasonal fish, chicken, soup, carving station, peel and eat shrimp. Honestly, it's a lot of the same stuff you get at like Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Same foods, but it everything that I've read, everything that I've heard, everyone I've talked to says that the food there is almost unedible. It's like sat out all day kind of feeling to it. They don't try because they know parents are going to come and they're going to bring their kids regardless of how the food tastes because they want to meet Doc McStuffins and Handy Mandy and, Sophia the First. But this is the epitome of what makes me mad is that Disney does things knowing that they can do a crappy job at it and people are still going to come and pay for it.
Right. Just like they're completely destroying Hollywood studios, yet people are still going to go there.
Right. It's sad that we have to that we shouldn't have to choose good food or good character meet and greet. We should be able to have both. Like, why can't we have good food? Like some places we talked about in last week's episode has both good food and good characters. Some places that we'll talk about next week when we talk about the resorts, character dining, it has both. So why can't they all have that? It kind of just makes me mad. I don't understand it. But if you watch the Diz or the Diz Unplugged, they all hate it. They hate it. Everyone I know hates the food there.
Yeah.
But really, I guess if you have kids, you're going for the characters, not for the food, because your kid's not going to eat hardly anything anyways.
Oh, well, definitely. And I mean, they still have the Mickey waffles and all of that good stuff that the other character breakfasts have. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's not a total loss when it comes to breakfast, but lunch and dinner was just, like I said, to pay the $65, of course, the time that I went was this Halloween special or whatever. It was insane. Right. And you do get the annual pass holder discount, but even still, just basically paying to meet the characters was not really worth it for me.
Right. And if you're dying, if your kid has to see Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, and Daisy, the next place we talk about at Animal Kingdom has Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Daisy.
Yep.
So the Tusker House is what we're going to talk about next. But I think I'm going to try Hollywood and Vine in the upcoming trips just to be able to say for myself whether it was good or not. I think I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it during breakfast because I feel like breakfast is breakfast regardless of where you have it at. I think
you need to try it for lunch or dinner because that's kind of like their own stuff. Like the breakfast is basically the same all around. Mm-hmm. Little things added here and there. But I feel like we've been very blunt about the fact that if you're going to a character dining, you're almost always paying to just go see the characters. There are some good places. I'm not going to shame all of them. But for the most part, it's either like you find something that, okay, yeah, I'll eat this. It's not amazing. Or the whole thing's just like trash. So I don't know. I mean, for me, character dining is always worth it if we're going for breakfast. I mean, breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. But like I said, I just feel like we've been very candid about the fact that you're paying to meet the characters for the most part.
For sure.
If you want good food, maybe try like another table service that we've talked about.
Without characters.
Without
characters. Yeah, for sure. So let's go back. Let's go on over to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom has one character dining experience, and that is Tusker House. Now, Kaylee and I are going to have mixed opinions of this place. So, Kaylee, I'll let you go first. Tusker House experience. Wow, we already mentioned that you can meet Mickey, Donald, Daisy, Goofy there. in their safari attire. It's hosted by Donald, which is awesome because Donald Duck is number one.
Yes. The whole atmosphere of the Tusker House is really amazing too. It's a huge restaurant. I feel like the buffet part of it is big enough to where you're not, at Hollywood
huge.
and Vine. We were mentioning how it's like literally like a little cafeteria. So those aspects and the characters and everything were good. And I'm not going to say that the food wasn't good. It's just not a flavor that I like.
So it's in the Africa portion of Animal Kingdom. So you're going to have food with an African kind of take on it. I think we've talked about Tusker House on here before a little bit, but the food is a little more unique with different flavors, but it's not so unique that a picky eater won't like it. I'm a very picky eater, and I found things all over the bar that I liked.
So what are some examples of things that they have?
All right, so some of the food options, you can get a fruit chutney. They have different curries. I know one I really like is the chicken curry, and it's not very spicy, so that's good. It's very flavorful, but it doesn't have a lot of spice in terms of like heat, which I like. They have a whole salmon that they'll cut and stuff for you. They have tons of different vegetarian offerings. They have hummus dips and tambuli dips. They have a spit roasted chicken option, which tastes really good. They have pork. They have other curries, black-eyed pea salad, vegetable salad. They have on the kids section, which is always a place I go to, they have mini corn dog nuggets, which they don't taste as good as Casey's, but they do have mini corn dog nuggets. They have the best mac and cheese on property. It's a white cheddar mac and cheese, and it is so good there.
The mac and cheese was probably the best part for me. Other than that, like some of the more like not plainer meats, but not the curry meats. You mentioned the salmon, that was good. The other chicken that they offer was good. Other than that, like they had a shrimp thing.
A spicy shrimp that was good.
It's just not my style of food. So again, it was just more of kind of the experience and the whole ambiance of the restaurant for me. I'm not going to say that I don't recommend going and trying it because I definitely do. It's some of the more eclectic food that you can get on property, which I think is really cool to be able to try something completely out of the box. So yeah, I would recommend it.
They have one of the best dessert bars as well. They have these little strawberry miniature, like they're about the size of a $50 little strawberry sponge cakes that have like a whipped cream icing on top and that taste amazing. They have like little brownie things that are amazing. They also have like mashed potatoes and chicken tenders and things like that also for kids. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
But they have a really, and I don't like bananas, but they have a banana bread pudding that is really good.
I remember that from there, and I really enjoyed that. I love
hate bananas. Actually,
I love any sort of bread pudding, and I like bananas too. So that was really good. That and the mac and cheese were probably my favorite things that I ate there.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was with my family when I went, and they kind of all agreed. So I don't know. I feel like this is one of those places where you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. And unfortunately for us, it's just we just weren't like the biggest fan of it. But
yeah,
I mean, so many people rant and rave about it and say it's their favorite character dining.
I love it.
Yeah, so
I love it. That's what it comes down to is taste. Are you into a little more crazy kind of flavor? And I say crazy, that's probably the wrong word, but a little more eclectic than what you're used to in the parks. The mac and cheese, the kids' table is your basic stuff. Like, so, I mean, if you're not into that and you're an adult, you can totally get off that. I do. But maybe instead of going straight into the lunch or dinner there, maybe go to the breakfast because the breakfast is more normal. They got your normal stuff there for breakfast. In addition to some, eclectic things, like they'll have a curry chicken for breakfast as option there as well. The cool thing about Tusker House, and I don't know about other places because I haven't done other places like this, but Tusker House, if you get a breakfast reservation as late as possible. So like Krista and I got a breakfast reservation there a couple trips ago, and it was at like 10:30. We sat down, we started eating. By about 10:50, they start setting out the lunch bar. So you can get breakfast and lunch, both, if you get a very late breakfast reservation at Tusker House. For one price, for the same price. They don't make you leave. They don't prevent you from going back to the buffet once lunch is out. You can go up there and get both, which is a good way to try both.
That's a trade secret.
You're welcome, America and the world.
Yeah, the world is listening to us.
The world. You're welcome, Earth. So that's just a good thing. So get a late breakfast reservation and stay to where you can get lunch as well, in addition to that. I think 1900 Park Fair does that as well.
They close.
Do they? Okay, so it wasn't.
They close for lunch.
Fair. It was somewhere else. It was somewhere else then that I did that. Maybe Crystal Palace. May have been Crystal Palace that did that too.
Yeah, because I was kind of hoping for that when I went to my 1900 Park Fair reservation, because it was kind of at that time, 10 a.m. But no, then we realized that they closed for lunch and reopened for dinner.
Bummer. I will say though, Krista and I are going on a kind of like a spur of the moment trip at the end of September, through the first week of October. And we're not doing the dining plan again. We didn't do the dining plan last time, and we ate less food, which made us feel better, which gave us more energy and stuff like that. I haven't worked out the numbers yet in terms of cost wise, but we're not doing the dining plan again, but we are doing one table service, and it's Crystal Palace for breakfast. I'm giving it a second chance, Kaylee.
It's
just for you.
Like I said, there's things that I like there and there's things that I don't like there. So, I mean, it's character dining. You're paying to go see the characters. There's very few character dining that I like the food and the characters equally. Actually, yeah, slim to none, probably Ohana breakfast.
Yeah, that's true.
No, what? Yeah.
The character portion of Tusker House is, I love that. They're dressed up in safari outfits. And I feel like this is one place where I don't feel like they're rushing the characters through. They're not just getting them in, getting them out, getting to the next table, move. And this is a place too where they've come around twice to us before. Mm-hmm. The restaurant isn't huge. It feels big, but it's really not that big. And so you get to see them multiple times. You get to see them interacting with other tables too, which is fun for us to see, them interacting with kids and that kind of thing. But it's because it's Donald's thing. He's a lot more interactive than other places, which I really like, because I love Donald, interacting with Donald.
Yeah.
All things Donald Duck.
Yeah, we had great character interactions when we were there.
So overall, Kaylee, let's go back to Hollywood and Vine. Is Hollywood and Vine, would you say it's worth it?
It depends on... I think the Disney Junior Breakfast would be worth it for families with young kids who enjoy those shows.
Even though you can meet Doc McStuff and Sophia the First and Jake the Pirate all inside the Disney Junior Courtyard.
Well, it's kind of a time saver thing, because when you go to meet the characters at the character spot and places like that, you're spending a lot of time waiting in line. Whereas if you're at a character dining, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. You're meeting the characters and you're eating. So, I mean, in that sense, that's really hard, because I feel like there's not a lot of things to entertain kids at Hollywood Studios. So, I mean, in that sense, you may be fine with waiting to meet the Disney Junior characters. I don't know.
I think it probably depends on if you're going with a budget in mind and you don't want to go over that budget, or you're going and trying to save as much as you can and not spend a whole lot. Maybe this is when you can kind of not do, because it is, it's going to be that $50 range for dining because it's characters. So maybe meet them instead if you're trying to save money. But if you're not being budget conscious, then... Right.
If I'm choosing between this and something else, anything else, I would choose anything else over Hollywood and Vine. So, I mean, just take that as you will,
Yeah. I say it's not worth it for all meals there. None of it's worth it. It looks extremely crowded. The atmosphere is not good. It's horrible. The atmosphere is horrible. It does look like a hospital cafeteria. It really does.
It does.
The characters you can meet anywhere else. Tusker House, worth it or not worth it?
I think you have to at least try it once. It's worth to try at least one time, and then from there you can decide if it's going to be one of your favorite character dinings to go. Because it's so eclectic and unique, I definitely think it's worth a try. Maybe for lunch or dinner. I mean, I don't think you need to go for breakfast, because you might get a little bit more of like a sense of what, Tusker
Well, you
House
could do
is
the
all
late
about.
breakfast thing like I was talking about.
Well, yeah, but not everybody wants to eat breakfast and lunch at one time.
Well, that's true, I guess.
I mean, I don't know, because if I eat a big breakfast, I don't know. I mean, I guess it would just depend. Whatever, float your boat. I think it's worth at least one try, and then, make your decision from there. Would I go again? Probably not. I mean,
not even
maybe
for breakfast.
for breakfast. I would be willing to try it for breakfast, but as far as lunch and dinner, personally, no.
I will say this: if you're wanting to have breakfast in an Animal Kingdom like atmosphere, whether it's Animal Kingdom Lodge or Animal Kingdom Park, go to Boma at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. If you're going to have breakfast, go to Boma at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It has some of the same stuff that Tusker House does, but the quality is exponentially better at Boma for breakfast than it is anywhere else. I would say Boma has one of the best breakfasts on property, one of the best.
Yeah.
And that's pretty universal. It's pretty universal from what from other people too. Chris and I loved it there. And you get to be in Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful. But Tusker House for me, 100% worth it. I love it. We eat there almost every single time.
Yeah, you guys love it, which is why I tried it with my family. Yeah. And honestly, to the day that I tried it, it was the Animal Kingdom anniversary. So there was a lot of negativity going on in my life then at that event.
That day did not go well for you.
No. So,
for me, that's what I'm kind of doing is, even though we had these discussions about worth it, not worth it, I'm kind of going back to all those places now, and I'm wanting to see, does my opinion change?
Right.
Was it just the time that I was there? Was it just the people I was with, or was it the food was just bad that day? Maybe
exactly.
It's better this day. So
exactly.
We're kind of going. That's why I'm going to Crystal Palace again. I want to give it a second chance,
right?
Because I love Winnie the Pooh so much,
and I know.
I want to give it a second chance. So we're going to kind of start going back.
And I mean, you should try Hollywood and Vine too, because you can't listen to what everybody else says. You never know. You could go there and love it. I don't think it's very likely. But I mean, use our opinions to kind of gauge what you're thinking, if you're planning your trip. I wouldn't say, our opinions are right and everything that we say, do what we, what I'm saying.
What?
But
they are, Kaylee.
I know.
Are right.
I mean, I like to think that I'm always right, but everything is just such like a personal preference. But I'm just the type of person that always says I'll try it at least once. And if I don't like it, then I won't go again. So, I mean, take our opinions for what you will, but...
And I know it's hard, like when you're spending money on it, like that's a lot of money to spend just to try something that you don't know if you're going to like. So like I get the whole not wanting to put my money towards something that is probably going to suck or everyone says sucks.
Right.
That's a hard thing to do, but you may love it. Like you may just fall in love with it. I love 50s Primetime Cafe. Kaylee hates it.
And I hate it. Yeah.
She hates it. So, look at the menu, go through it, look it over with your kids. Talk about the menu, talk about the characters, watch a video on YouTube of someone who's eaten at that restaurant. There's tons. You can find every restaurant at Disney. Some vlogger has gone to and reviewed and done stuff. Tim Tracker or The Diz or Magical Moments. Tons of vloggers out there go to these restaurants and experience it. So that kind of gives you a chance to look at it and see what you think of it. Don't just take our word for it, but do your research, though. If you're spending that much money, do your research.
Especially those family vacations, like,
yeah, those once
gotta take out a second mortgage to be able to do that. So, I mean, take what we say, maybe hear what other people say too, and then kind of gauge your opinions. Hollywood and Vine's the only one that I like completely trash.
I would definitely do kind of what I suggested. Sit down with your kids, show them the menu, tell them what's on there.
Okay, well, kids don't eat anything. Like, I feel like I eat like a kid.
I eat like a kid too, but the kids menu, I mean, there's always kid stuff. The mac and cheese. What kid's not going to eat mac and cheese?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't need to show your kid the menu. I'll be like,
I guess it depends on the age.
I mean, it depends on the age, right? It depends on, if it's a teenager, maybe. But I'm telling my kid flat out, you're eating this or you're not eating. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
You're eating this or you're starving. I just want my kids to know that you have to try it. And if you don't like it, fine. Try it.
Yeah. All those kids you have. All
of my kids.
All my kids. See, we
I'm
know
so
everything.
Experienced.
We know everything about kids. Just listen to everything we say. Kids, we know everything. So.
We love kids.
Yeah. All you people with kids listening, you're like, these people know nothing. They are idiots. They are idiots. And yeah, we probably are a little bit.
Yeah, probably,
okay.
But
so
that's fine.
We're going to cut this episode shorter than normal so that we can have a part 3 where we talk about the resorts, because there are 6 different character dining options at resorts. And we want to make sure we give it our full attention and we don't rush anything. And we don't want to make these episodes too awfully long because we know everyone has things to do and everyone doesn't have time to just sit and listen to us ramble about stuff. So
really, how odd! I thought everybody just wants to sit around and listen to us talk all night.
I mean, I do. I listen to our episodes over and over and over and over again all the time.
I can't hear my voice on like video things. It like literally makes me cringe. I'm like, ugh, my voice. I don't know what it is. It's just weird.
I love my voice. I find it very dapper.
Yeah, you would say that.
I'm kidding.
I can see his head growing right now on the video chat.
Yeah. No, but we'll do next week. We'll do 1900 Park Fair at the Grand Floridian. We'll do Cape May Cafe at Beach Club Resort. Chef Mickey's at Contemporary. Mickey's Backyard Barbecue at Fort Wilderness. Ohana at the Polynesian, and then Trattoria Al Forno restaurant at the Boardwalk. So it'll be a full-packed episode. I'm excited to talk about all of those because a couple of those are some of our favorites.
Yes. And I'll actually, a lot of them I have not been to either.
But I have.
So it's going to be good.
It'll be a good episode. So that's it for this episode. Let us know what some of your favorite character dining experiences are. We would love to hear from you and see what you like, what you don't like. Maybe we'll try some things that we haven't tried before. Like Kaylee said, we're always willing to try something at least once. So hit us up on Instagram at Walt's World Podcast or email us waltzworldpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys. Head over to iTunes, subscribe, rate us, and give us an awesome comment on there. I also want to give a big shout out to all of our friends listening around the world. We have people listening to us from England and Japan and Spain and Guatemala and Puerto Rico and Canada. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. It blows us away that people from all around the world are listening to us talk about Disney.
It blows us away that people listen to us in general.
That's true. Other than our moms.
Yeah. Let alone all over the place. So thank you.
Yeah. You guys are awesome. So with that, I'm John.
And I'm Kaylee. We'll see you next week.